Hey guys, this is Life Maniac and I'm putting up today my Mako Tsunami deck profile coming up. So, what can we say about this specific character? Mako Tsunami was of course one of the most famous competitors, besides of course Yugi, Kaiba, Joey and his friends, who had been also taking part into the Duelist Kingdom and succeeded in getting very far. And his main strategy was outlined solely around water type monsters. And in the past he had already been taken into a battle and match between himself and Yugi, which you can say almost won. He was very good in this match, he succeeded to coming very far, but lastly Yugi defeated him. As a result of that, he didn't succeed in taking part into the finals of the Duelist Kingdom saga. Then he was invited from Seto Kaiba again to take part and take into account to take part in the Battle City competition, which he succeeded again to come very far. I think he had 4 from 6 duelist chips, which you win if you have a match against an opponent in Battle City, and then you get it from your opponent. And I think it was 6 were needed in order to get to the finals of Battle City, and he himself and Joey had, I think, both 3 or both 4, I'm not sure about that particular number, though yeah, Joey matched up against him and it was a very hard fought match on behalf of Joey as well as of Mako Tsunami, because I think Mako Tsunami had Joey on the ropes many times, but then of course Joey, with a little bit of luck and of course strong duelist skills, eventually then succeeded by winning this specific match. So we are going to come first to his monsters. He had, for example, Fiend Kraken. I put also a couple of his Duelist Kingdom saga cards in there as well, because otherwise it wouldn't reach enough a big enough amount of monsters for his deck to compete good enough. Then of course Jellyfish, which he I think also used in the Duelist Kingdom arc. Great White. This card was also played out in the Duelist Kingdom arc, I think in another one which is not printed in the Yu-Gi-Oh card game at all, but the Fiend Kraken is now an OCG exclusive, which I also put in there because you have just the attack and defense stats and of course the type and the attribute. The attribute you can research in the internet, but it doesn't have any effect, so yeah, it's not that difficult to play it out and play with it. And of course Karyushin, a card which I might be wrong, also played in the Duelist Kingdom era. Then another couple of cards which he did not engage in battle, but yeah, might come in handy. and are very practical and appropriate to his deck. One of it is Crazy Langust, then 7 Colored Fish. Another card which he indeed used in the anime was Flying Fish. I think it was even his first monster card, but it does have very weak stats. Yeah. Then Terror King Salmon, which is I think his first normal monster which he has to take tributes from for. Then he didn't have that one, but yeah, I might fit in his deck lines of monsters. Then one which he did use was Amphibian Beast, which also needs tribute summon to be tribute summoned. Then Cadarus and Torpedo Fish. I think that one he might have used in this deck, but I'm not sure about that one. As well as Cannonball Spear Shellfish. These two cards, monster cards in particular, are working with the field magic card of Umi very well. Then Spaniard Gilman, which also is appropriate to his main line of basic water monster cards. Then Meter Shark and Maiden of the Aqua, which also works with Umi. Aqua Spirit. Then improved alternative issue on the Karyushin is the Ocean Draco Rain Karyushin. The Orca Fortress of the Darkness. Now this card does work also with Umi, and it looks very similar to his main boss monster, which besides the legendary Fisherman, which I will come after that description to, was of course the Fortress Whale, I think it was called. So the legendary Fisherman, of course. This monster card had a very big background behind it, because if you look to it very closely, put it a little bit closer to the camera, it does look very similar to Mako Tsunami himself, but just in an older version. And he told that story that his dad, that he did search for his dad, and one day a letter arrived to him in which this specific card was, or which contained this specific card. And from that day onward, he had hope that he might find his dad one day. Then, Legendary Fisherman 3. Now, which really fits into that baseline of the Legendary Fisher. I have the Legendary Fisher 2 as well, but I didn't put in there because I wanted to the holocron form of it. Didn't buy it yet, so you might just think about it, that it's in there as well. Then Ocean Draco Rainer of Neo Daedalus. Citadel Whale, Crab Turtle, which is a ritual monster, like you might see in blue. Fortress Whale, which was the other boss monster beside legendary Fisher that he indeed had in his deck, which also is a ritual monster like Crab Turtle, and yeah, it's very rare nowadays. The common version does exist, but yeah, the other from the tournament pack and super rare, as well as the one in the speed duel ultra, is very rare to find. So yeah, but I might pay a little bit more money for it, and then one day I will at least have the speed duel ultra rare form of it. Then Livia Dragon Daedalus, which has the effect that if you just put Umi into the graveyard, then you will destroy all cards on the field. Or just of the opponent. No, all cards, yeah, I was correct. Then he had another monster, which I already recalled that it's not printed in the trading card game. Neither the American, European as well, nor the Japanese version. It does exist, but I think it was called Megalodon, but we have Hyper Antic Shark Megalodon, so yeah, it does fit very well in this deck, and it's, I think, even his most powerful boss monster with 2600 attack. So these were his monster cards. Now we will go on with the spell cards, of course, which are based very much about the overall strategy to support his monster cards with it. And the most important one that I already mentioned many times is, of course, Umi, which just on the one side increases the attack of the monsters and defense as well of all water monsters. And I've tapped Fish, Sea Serpent, Thunder, and Aqua per 200 points in attack defense, but also has the ability that it weakens, on the other hand, the Machine type and the Pyro type monsters. Now I have this card 2 times in this deck. Then another card which fits in there very well is the Legendary Ocean, because this field spell card is treated as Umi, and it downgrades all water monsters in both players' hands -1, level -1. So, for example, you can put the Legendary Fisher or other cards with 5 stars which are downgraded. You can normal summon them without a tribute. And also I do have Lemuria, the Forgotten Land, Forgotten City, which also is treated as Umi, but I'm not sure which other effects it does have also. It's very similar to the Legendary Ocean. Then further on, I have Rage of Karyushin, which works with Torrential Tribute. You can put it, I think, into your hand from the deck. And then Avarice of Laziness. I think you banish one Fish, Sea Serpent, or Aqua monster, or put it into the graveyard, and then you can draw 2 cards. So it's in there for draw power, of course. Then Deep Sea Area, which works like that. You can banish one type monster, and then from your graveyard, and then you can put one Sea Serpent type monster from with a level 4 or lower from your deck into your hand. Then Steel Shell, which increases the attack stats of all water monsters by 400, as well as think as the just the attack stats. Yeah. Then I don't know how it's called, but it's yeah. I think Greedo of Greed or something like that. Yeah, but it has the effect if you shuffle 2 water monsters from your hand to your deck, you can even draw 3 cards, so it's might be very practical in terms of draw power. Then Repair, you can put 2 water monsters with 1500 attack or fewer from your graveyard into your hand. I have 2 ones from the Greater of Greed, I would call it just yet. Let's just call it Fish of Greed. I don't know what the English word is exactly, so I did hesitate a little bit. Then it was Rage of Karyushin, and that's now I think Grudge of Karyushin, which also works with water monster types. Then I have, of course, a couple of ritual spell cards. Oath of the Fortress Whale and Turtle Oath. These spell cards are for Fortress Whale and vice versa for a Crab Turtle. Danger from the water. And Dive Up that's for to special summon water monsters. Contact with the water surface. Big Wave, Little Wave. Secret Attack to Water. Aqua Jet. And Amulet of the Ocean Rainer. Now these are all obviously support cards for the water subject, and I don't know how many of them he himself played, but a couple of them he did play, of course, Umi, for example, but the other ones were TCG support cards for the whole water theme. As well as the trap cards. Most of them also didn't exist in the duel, but I will show you which he explicitly played. Trap cards, Torrential Tribute he did. Gauge into Ballet 2 times, of course, in there. Then Tornado Wall, which is a very good combination with Umi. You don't get any battle damage anymore if you have that combination of those 2 cards on the field. And I think that might be it. The other cards that I have there: White Roar, Diamond Cyclone, Poseidon Wave, Amulet of the Ocean, Abyss, Water, I think, Karyushin's Dark Rift, Secret Attack to Water, Forgotten Temple of the Deep Sea, and Torrential Reborn. Well, now this was the Mako Tsunami deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe for more content, hit the like button as well, comment on it, of course, and I hope you guys liked it. It was a bit hasty this time, but yeah, I couldn't explain all of those cards because, as I have to admit, I did create this deck of Mako Tsunami, I think maybe about about a half or 3/4 of a year ago, and I don't know all the cards specific anymore, but I do know that most of them are good support cards for the main line of his water deck, as well as the Umi strategy. Every deck has to have at least 2 or 3 strategies, because if you just have one and it might be blocked by your opponent, then yeah, you have to have a plan B, of course, and most of players do not have that strategy in mind to have another strategy. So, to make a long story short, I've enjoyed it, of course, and yeah, see you the next time. Bye.